Welcome to Smart Haus, a Pittsburgh podcast about smart technologies, artificial intelligence, virtual reality, and the future. My guest today is Kim Forrest. Kim, thank you for showing up today.
So glad to be here.
You were actually working before this, right, in our
Yes.
other studio, and you
Yes.
came over here very convenient for us.
Yes, well, we're all about convenience, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh, the most convenient city.
Is that
Said
true?
no one ever.
Yeah, I was like, where is that from? So you are from Pittsburgh, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You know that whole you can't get there from here? I didn't know that wasn't like a logical thing. Because as a kid, well, no, let me explain. As a kid, like people would get lost in my neighborhood. I grew up in Crafton, and you could see where the car wanted to go, but you couldn't get there directly.
Yeah.
Like you had to go out and
Oh my God, that's
Right?
so funny. I never saw it. Like, you could see it, but that doesn't mean you're going to be able to get there.
yeah,
So
and
you
you
drive
just
it around
tell them,
forever.
you know, you're like some 7-year-old, and you're like, oh man, you can't get there. You can't get there from here.
It's just not possible.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Oh
we
my
have to go
God.
out and around, and that's what we thought. You know what I mean?
That's so crazy. Because later I was going to bring up the the metaverse is a thing that like other
Oh.
companies are building, like gaming companies, and
Okay.
it's the first time that word was used in the law. But that feels like the same thing. You're in this multiverse. It's like, that's another universe over there. We can't get there.
Yeah, we cannot go through that divide.
Yeah.
Right? You can't get your car over there. No, you could, but you know, to me, it's like backtracking, and you always want to go forward. Who wants to go backwards?
Yeah. I guess you would need a
yes.
Pittsburgh Yinzer GPS. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta goes downstairs. You turn around and there's this weird trees. It just looks like this, and that's when you make the rights, not the right, the right.
Yeah. Oh, and it's where that mailbox used to be, but it's not there anymore. Yeah.
So I always forget to I call this show Smart Haus because of the
Yeah.
Yinzer. The Yinzer verbiage, and I'm from Pittsburgh. Can you give me an opening with the Smart Haus?
Sure, like I'm real glad to be here. I had just such a time getting here. You know, we had some traffic. It was bad. It was bad.
It's a traffic.
Oh my God.
Aw.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, welcome to Smart Haus. Aw.
Thanks.
I need to get some like Debbie's and Susans and Karens.
Oh,
Yeah.
that would be nice.
Yeah.
You know, those are people I went to high school with.
That's what I'm actually referring to exactly.
I wanted to be Debbie. Like everybody was Debbie. Kimberly,
Everyone was
it
Debbie.
was like a thing. It wasn't a thing in the.
So Kimberly wasn't popular, but the
No.
Debbies were.
Oh my gosh, there was Debbie's, Susan's, and Mary's.
Susans, that's the one I was missing.
Yeah,
Susans and Debbies.
Hey, I got a cousin Sue. She says a lot.
All right, well, I'm gonna try to
Okay.
bring this back to what we do for a living, what we talk about stuff. And so what the show is really about is my experience with smart technology and the guest experience with smart technology. And what it really came from is I was sitting in my house, and I have my whole house set up for a lot of things. I have my thermostat, I have my doors, all the audio, and my lights and TVs. So like when I come home, I actually say, hey, Google, I'm home, or hey, Google, I'm up. I say all those kind of things. And what happens, it doesn't work very well sometimes. And there's bugs and stuff. And you get angry and you want to yell at the smart device or AI. And I'm just coming, say, come on, Googles, you don't understand me. I just need the light so I can see to get the irons out of the fridge. You know, and I'm young, and I'm like, it's so funny. I'm like, so I picture this future where everyone's gonna have some kind of smart technology, but no one's gonna be really smarter.
Right.
So I just picture Pittsburgh Yinzers in these houses just yelling at their AI all the time. So that's why.
And
I
you know
think.
what Siri's gonna say? Nuh-uh.
Yeah. Well, at one point I got real mad, and I actually kind of said something pretty inappropriate to Google. I was also kidding.
Yeah.
But I said something inappropriate. I was like swearing at her, and I said something I shouldn't have said that I would never say to a real woman.
Yeah.
And she came back and she literally said, she's like, don't talk to me that way.
Oh, that's good. I like that. I like assertive AI.
But
you know, because there's even AI has boundaries. Let's
I
put it
guess.
that way. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
It scared me because it felt very aware. You know, it's like, what if I do something it doesn't want me to do? Is it going to yell at me again? Like, you shouldn't be eating that there, Dustin. Now, all of a sudden,
that would be great, actually.
You're right.
Really? You're going in the refrigerator again? Again, you know.
Yeah.
That would be helpful.
So, do you have any smart devices at your house?
Kinda. So
Kinda.
here's the thing. So my name is Kim Forrest. I have a company called Boca Capital Management. Yes, I'm in financial. We're asset managers. We run money, and I'm very interested in technology. But my first career that I spent 13 years of doing, I was a software engineer working in AI and other, like at the time they were really fringy, right? Because it was the late 80s to the 1999.
Dumb AI.
Well, no, actually, it was the same AI as we use now, except it has more data.
Right, there's more data.
And it can process faster. So we can get to the wrong answers faster now than it did.
It's just more information. It doesn't necessarily mean it's better.
Right. So here's the thing. I really hate Bluetooth. Like, I hate Bluetooth.
Worst.
I know. Like, they have unleashed this thing on us. It does the most random things in the car, right? Like, sometimes you get in and you have this great experience where your phone and car, they're talking to each other. The music that you were listening to, that you leave your car, you're in the middle of your favorite song, you go away, you come back, you pick it up right at the next note.
Right.
And then sometimes it's like, no. No, you don't get to listen to the song. So, like, I try to stay away from Bluetooth.
Yeah. I wish, and it's one of those, I don't know how it got to the point where it was, but it became a standard, and I don't know why there's no competition for it. I don't know why, but I mean, you basically can't use a lot of the setup I have is all Bluetooth, and it is very annoying. Sometimes I'll be in my house, and obviously it is connected to my car, or something's still on. I'm like, why is nothing playing? And my car's out there jamming up. That's why.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Well, imagine we pull into our car, our house, and that's where one of the Wi-Fi repeaters are.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
Because we have a long, narrow house.
I have those too. Yeah.
And even though my friend, who's really great at setting up audio visual stuff, like fancy, probably like what you have, we have somewhat fancy. I'm going to answer your question, but. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, there's no way that this, one box won't hit the whole house."
Yeah, yeah.
So we ended up with 3 boxes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So anyhow, that's why I go like, yeah, I love technology until I hate it.
Yeah.
We have Sonos, which
and
then in the wall speakers, and that replaced whenever we bought the house, somebody was thinking, I guess it had gotten refreshed in 1999, and they had a Bose system.
Right, because that's the 90s. The Bose was definitely at the top of the...
Right, right. And we still have Bose speakers, which I know they're not that great, but we're going to move on. We're not... my husband's an audiophile. He's a musician.
Okay.
So he's like all about the experience, right? And I just want to hear my favorite song. So I love Sonos. I am a total Sonos convert. I think it's the best thing. And actually, we have one of their freestanding speakers that we can take outside.
Oh, that's so cool.
Oh my gosh. It's, who cares what it costs? It's totally worth it.
I mean, that's I've been looking because I have I guess it's a Beats, Dr. Dre Beats thing, and it does with Bluetooth, and it works half the time, and it's starting to break. But I love being able to I can put it here. All right, I want to take it here. I want to take it here. And I've been looking at Sonos. Yeah. And actually, if I upgrade, that's probably where I was going too, because I was like, this just looks better.
Well, yeah. And it's unobtrusive. We're going for the magic of music as opposed to look at our audio stuff. So, no, I love that. And I am old school. I actually have my record player, my CD player attached to Sonos, because you can bridge that.
Oh, okay.
So I can play vinyl. Wait, this was crazy. So we moved to this house 6 years ago. We had the neighbors over. They have a very nice, at the time, 17-year-old son who, for whatever reason, had never heard vinyl. And he wanted, I know.
I guess I haven't experienced it that many. It was more or less in school when I was really young, and they had to play something, and they would pull out the machine. I might have had vinyl when I was, my dad, I think, had one, but we don't remember listening to it. But yeah, Beach Boys. I think maybe I had Beach Boys. Yeah.
Love them. Okay. But yeah, so I just had to, I picked something out, and I'm like, here you go. This is what vinyl sounds like. It's warmer. It's, not digital. It's, And I got to play it for him. So that was fun.
That is cool.
Yeah.
That is, like you said, it's like the old school thing, but that's like the new thing to do. Vinyls are really getting popular again. And to have the setup you said, I'm sure a lot of people will start to do that. I remember I was at a meeting once, and it was for a music video, and that's the first thing the guy did. He walked over and he put a vinyl, to set the mood for the meeting. And I was like, this is cool.
Well, and if you, part of me really likes the remastered stuff too. But I have a lot of old school, I'm into weird music. I used to be a WYEP Pittsburgh. And for those of you who are not maybe from Pittsburgh, it's a public radio station. and I did the overnight every other week. And I did Modern Times. This was in the late 80s. And so like teenagers would call me whispering because they were up late.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
And they'd go, "Can you play The Cure?"
Ah, that's so cool.
So I used to call them the whispering youth, because you're like, why are you? Oh, right. You don't want your parents,
to know
you're calling a radio station at 1:00 in the morning. But of course, I'll play The Cure.
But that's so cool too, because otherwise I'm not gonna be able to hear that song.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's what's cool about it. It's like a secret. It's like, I need to hear this song right now.
I really need to hear How Soon Is Now by the Smiths.
Yeah,
yes, you do.
But now it's so easy. Like I obviously I
Yeah.
don't have any vinyls personally because I'm just hardcore Spotify. I make my playlists. I make new ones every year. And now with their AI and their algorithm, I can't wait to the end of the year where they put together what you listen to, all the data, and they're like, you listen to this much, and your favorite album was this. It's like more important. Like, they have obviously awards and the Grammys. So I'm like, screw that. It's like, I want to see my top 10. That's actually more. One day they'll probably have an algorithm. There'll probably be a whole award show just for my tastes. I could totally see that.
Well, that would be good. That would be fun to get an award for. You've picked the best list of songs ever.
Yeah. And of course that's to everybody. So everyone gets that experience of you're the best, you're the best, you're the best. So
that sounds very 90s where everybody gets a trophy. But let's move on from that. So here's the other thing though. I love radio. And I can still get radio. Like we pay for Sirius XM.
Oh yeah. Silent radio. Here's what I want.
Yeah, oh yeah. I don't need to hear like the disc DJ. I just want to hear, but I want to hear new stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am always, because I was, it was Modern Times, it was alternative music. I am still way into, even though I'm like 100 years old, love to hear what's new for like the alternatives.
Yeah.
So, I am totally all about the Tame Impala, if you know them.
No, I don't think I do.
Oh my God, they're great. And so, but I love the surprise of radio.
Yeah, that's what it is too. That's why I think I hate, like, there's a running joke with me and my daughter. Every time we get in the car to go take her to the bus stop, it's the same Machine Gun Kelly song from the exact, because we get in the car at the exact same time.
Yes.
So it's Machine Gun Kelly, who I'm not really obviously a big fan. He's obviously younger generation music guy. It's the same song. And eventually I was like, I can't handle it. I just can't. And the same thing too is like, as soon as the DJ comes on, or as soon as like DJs that actually take phone calls, they don't do it as much as they used to, but it was always like, I don't want to hear a DJ talk most of the time. Two, I don't want to a regular person who's not good at talking on the radio talk.
Right.
It's awful.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, well. So yeah, that's what I have in my house. We don't have smart anything.
So you have no Alexa, no Google, none of that stuff. So you're not talking in your house at all. So if you want to play music, you physically have to go make this happen.
Yeah, I'm creeped out because remember I was a software engineer. I know they're not just listening.
Oh, I know.
I can't.
I'm like the opposite. It's like even now with the not Facebook. Yes, it was Facebook.
You said the Facebook.
The Facebook. That's my mom talking. That's my mom. Like she thinks like Facebook is just the internet. So like when she talks about something, it's like, are you talking about a website? Or are you talking about Facebook? Now I lost my train of thought. What were you saying? We
were talking about the creepiness of Alexa and Google. Always listening.
Oh yes. So yeah, So now the phone. I was going to say Apple phone is what I wanted to say. My Apple phone. They ask you now, would you like to be tracked? Yeah. And I'm like torn. Like, 'cause if I say no, I feel like I'm not going to give the data that it needs to give me the content or even the ad experience I want. So I'm in this sort of thing. I remember watching commercials when I was a kid. Awful. Right. I'm watching, some cartoon that I love, and all of a sudden some ad comes on that's obviously for my parents, and it's just like 5 minutes of just, I hate this. But now it's not as bad because I'm like, I kind of like this commercial. I might buy this. Yeah. And I'm afraid if I'm just going to start saying no, I'm going to go back to that awful experience.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm wrong, by the way.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I see some benefit, a minor benefit, but I'm mostly creeped out, and here's why. Because of what I do for a living, which is I research stocks intensely. So I will look at a whole range of things, from everything from like car parts to clothing, and then like lots of technology. So none of these people actually know who I am. Sometimes they think I'm like a 50-year-old guy because I'm looking at like steel buildings or, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I'm like my authentic me and I'm looking at like, oh, I don't know, dogs and horses. So I get like some ads for, clothing you'd ride. So yeah, I see the creepiness.
It is creepy. It
and
is.
so it's not helpful to me because it goes back and forth like, who are you?
Yeah, it doesn't know you. I think it's probably because I interact so much that
Yeah.
I don't get that as much, but I used to get that more. I used to do a lot of vlog type stuff on YouTube.
Okay.
And to fill in the content and comedy, I would find myself typing in really goofy things. And I also did stand-up comedy, so I used to type in really weird things in Google, and I would have that happen to me. But it's the same thing. I was like, don't take this seriously, Google. Like this, I'm researching for work. I'm not have a weird fetish.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah. And then you're like, whoa, I didn't even know that was a thing. Get it away.
Yeah. And then I guess you could also, like Comcast, there's also, like, if you go on your login in Comcast, there is a setting that says, like, it can read your search stuff. And that will filter to your TV.
Yeah.
And like that, it would be a time it's like you have a friend over or something, and you're like this commercial pops on, and they're like, why is that on? Like, are you into that? Whatever it would be,
Or a health problem.
Yeah,
Ooh.
right. Like your TV's showing a lot of drug pills for very specific disease. Are you okay? Do you need to talk to us? I mean, that could happen, right?
It could. Yeah. So yeah, I'm a little creeped out. So yeah, that's we're pretty old school. But I do love the Sonos.
Yeah. So in the future, though, do you see yourself buying any of those things to maybe make even turning lights on?
In our old house, we had an X10 system. If you remember what that is, it's a really
X10.
So it was this really weird system that instead of being internet based, it was based through your electric. But it could send messages to like a light fixture that had a special device.
All right.
in it,
Okay. Yeah.
Or your like on-off switch, that kind of stuff. That was incredibly helpful. I might do that. I really love coming home to my house being lit as opposed to coming into a dark house.
Yeah. I mean,
because I always feel like I'm in a Pink Panther movie. Somebody's going to come out and try to give me a karate chop.
Before, because the reason why sometimes I don't turn everything, because literally my mornings, to get my daughter ready for school, it's like wake up, get the coffee, turn the lights on, turn the TV on, put this on, and it was like I don't like that. I just want to say good morning. And what I've done in the middle of the night, if I would wake up, I find myself using my flashlight on my phone, then turning lights on.
Yeah,
I'm just walking around the house like with a flashlight. I'm like, that's weird, right? That's probably not like the thing that people should be doing at all.
Yeah.
So that's weird. But anyway, I want to wrap this part up. What I see for the future, and I picture future smart cities, or like this ecosystem where your apartment is probably like really small, and even your bed is maybe the size of this table because you only sleep to sleep, and once you're up, like the algorithms kind of got you figured out. So you're up, breakfast is already there, or you somehow order breakfast through your smart devices. And if you got to get somewhere, you just walk out the door, and there's a car already waiting for you because this is all the city. And like there's already what's that called when you have automatic income from the government?
Oh, right.
I forgot.
Basic.
Universal income. Like, so that's kind of set up. So like you kind of have a bare minimum of life where you can kind of travel to a few places, probably one being work, but you just live in this thing where everything's kind of just ready for you, but you don't technically actually own anything because you're not going to have to have an oven or anything. That's either going to be Ubered or somehow made for you. So this is how I picture.
That makes me sad. I love to bake.
Yeah, so I think this is what we do. If you love to bake, you would like literally like plan on it. You're like, okay, so this afternoon I'm gonna bake, so I'm gonna order all my equipment, and you like rent basically, and like so it would show up in Amazon in like an hour, and you get all your baking equipment and ingredients, just sort of like how HelloFresh does, similar to that. But this is the future. So everything's gonna be like this though, and when it's done, it's gone. That's how I'm kind of starting to picture some stuff. I just don't know how it feels that way.
I don't know because I think this is going to sound really weird. I don't think people take care of things they rent.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And I'm always, so I go to New York City a lot. Well, I used to before COVID, right? And getting into a cab is just, I'm a little bit of a germ phobe.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm getting in there going, ugh. when do they hose this thing out? And no, there's never been any bad surprises, but I can't imagine not owning a car and just like throwing my stuff into whatever car comes by.
Yeah.
Because like, what if somebody went out the night before, had a little too much, left a little surprise, and
I guess you're kind of describing Uber things that are already happening. Because that's, I guess, was the difference when I started using Ubers. I always felt they were cleaner for the most part.
Okay.
They were cleaner. People were a little maybe too friendly at times. But there was like this whole like, I'm going to have people back there. It needs to be like I'm having a guest over in my house.
I'm talking about automated.
Oh, okay. So we're still
know what I
talking.
mean?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because I went with you, right? I get it. People are going to take care of that. But if
there's no one there who gives a crap, right?
Bing, 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 bing. This is called the tragedy of the commons. It is a economic term, and it means like, why is there litter in parks? Because it's nobody's park.
It's nobody's park.
Right? So this is nobody's car, and that is nobody's oven. And I don't know. Has it been a while since you worked in an office? People do the most disgusting stuff to microwaves.
Yes.
And this is people that you know and look at like every day.
Yeah.
It's not a stranger. I can't imagine what would go down in the renta stuff that is automated.
That makes it so interesting. I think
Sorry.
maybe now because now you got me thinking, because I guess I also think in Europe, I think they have bathrooms, and when you're done using the bathroom, it literally hoses itself down. Like it like spins and like I would maybe
be okay
do
with
something when you get out, because they're already delivering pizzas and stuff in these things. I guess no one's like going to be messing with those. But yeah, you're right. You would have to think that it would have to do some kind of cleansing between each person.
Yeah, and just like crap removal. What happens?
Yeah,
if,
I mean, people throw up in cars all the time. It's a very normal thing. Yeah.
Is it? Yeah. I don't. Note to self: never drive with him. If he thinks,
I guess it's not normal to me, but I picture when you see viral things on the internet, it's always like someone's coming from the bar and stuff, and they don't appreciate the
right the sanctity of like keeping the inside on the inside. So yeah, no. I mean, I think the future is going to be better than now. I don't know.
Maybe maybe it won't be so much. It'd be a one-time use thing. We'll get 3D printing to such a degree where the stuff they give you is just so like easy to break down. You use it once and it breaks down, and they remake it into something else. This is my vision of the future.
Okay.
Actually, I've seen of like Tokyo seems to be like the future city, and they're doing stuff like this where like they have, if you want to take a nap in Tokyo, there's a place to go.
Yeah, that would be
and it's just
nice.
like a little bed, and it's kind of you just buy your time, get in. And I'm almost picturing like that's how people are gonna live, because you're just gonna get up, go to work, and that's how it is. So we'll move on a little bit here.
Okay. We get bogged down. Sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. This is I like to call this a beta podcast, because I'm trying a lot of new things, and we're really showcasing the studio and trying to show different things I can do. Like I could change the background to this alien background for fun. I always like this guy because he's like aliens. If you ever seen that meme before, yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna jump into the next subject that I saw, that Sheets is gonna be accepting Bitcoin and other crypto soon, and I just picture. Like I'm assuming people are going to use it, but I have this vision of the future, a lot like gas stations, where it's going to accept 1,000 things, and it's going to have 1,000 stickers and QR codes, and everyone's going to pay in whatever way. I guess probably whatever crypto is doing well, maybe at that time. If you have a version of crypto, you'd be like, oh, hey, I got a lot of Bitcoin today because it did well last couple of weeks. I guess I can buy ice cream today in Bitcoin.
You do know the first Bitcoin exchange was for somebody that ordered a pizza, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not a crypto believer. I believe like, I don't know, stores of value shouldn't fluctuate wildly, but that's, I'm so old fashioned.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Do you think, because I do feel like it's so volatile right now, and it's crazy, and it's more like a gambling thing right now.
Yes.
But I'm assuming, and I think people that are very invested, it's going to level out at some time and become like an actual currency, or do you not see that ever happening?
No, but I could see the mechanism that makes it work get utilized, that gets tied to something that has value.
Okay.
Okay. The asterisk I'll put next to that is if you can pay your taxes in Bitcoin, that makes it a real currency.
Okay, I
So
never
that
heard anyone
is the
say that yet.
threshold. Right.
Pay your taxes in a
Right,
crypto.
because then it is legal tender.
Yeah.
So that would allow it to have some kind of peg to the dollar or peg to some currency.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I know that's the appeal, that it is not pegged. I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
However, right now it's lottery tickets.
Right. And what I was also saying, and this is how my daughter interacts with money, is if you give her like cash, green cash, it's like nothing. It's really literally paper to her.
Yeah.
It doesn't, like, she doesn't really see it. If you give her like a gift card, that's something to her. If coins in like Fortnite, the Fortnite currency, that's a bigger deal to her. Or I think Roblox is the one that's like that I think just went on the stock market a couple months ago.
Okay.
And so I almost see it like that as a future. It's like maybe it won't be so much in the real world, but in this virtual world, which I brought up before, like the metaverse and the Oasis, like in Player One, that currency might be a bigger deal, because it's like, say someone has an NFT that you really, really want. Well, if I'm spending 8 hours in VR and I want like the coolest NFT of a basketball dunk, because I can bring people over and stuff now in this future.
Yeah.
It's like that might be my currency all the time in this world, but maybe not so much in the real world. So I see it could be in maybe a currency that on that form.
I think that's pretty interesting. I think that is a unique way to look at currency.
And I think it's just, and I think just like at one point in time, I think Disney, they had Mickey dollars or Disney money, and
Really?
like, yeah. And I remember it was cool. Like when you went in, you could exchange it,
Right,
and then
right.
you get benefits. So if you're paying with Disney money, you get an extra T-shirt. And I think that's also what they're trying to do with some crypto. Hey, if you are using our crypto for exchange, you get like benefits, we'll give you this or like whatever it is. And so I think that's how the market is going to change. But I really do see it more in a virtual world, unless you, like you said, if somehow you can pay your taxes, that does change everything. I never thought about that.
It's real for real.
Real for real. I'm going to show you some TikTok. It's actually a TikTok video, but I want to talk a little bit about TikTok, but I just want technology and let's see if I can bring this up correctly. This is just a video of a hoverboard. I'm not sure you've seen this.
No, I'm not a big TikToker.
You're not a big TikToker. This is from TikTok or Facebook, whatever. Let's bring this in here. This is just a regular hoverboard. It's an advanced hoverboard. Let's play this. Let's see if it works.
Okay.
I have no sound.
Is that for real?
It's for real.
So cool.
It's for real.
Oh my gosh. The guy is riding a drone, essentially.
Yeah, it's basically a drone.
Yeah.
And I've seen other ones, though, where they have it connected to their hands, too, and he's jumping from boat to boat.
Oh,
it's like a legit Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
Like he's going
No,
through
I'm
traffic
in.
and stuff.
I'm in.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, now you're going to get this, and then you'll hook up all your smart devices, and that's how it's going to connect you.
But I do love this. This is really great.
It looks like the most fun thing to do ever.
I know.
So, but like literally my favorite movie growing up and really got me into like technology and stuff was Back to the Future. And so that scene when they're on the hoverboards and they're going through the water and he's like, you ain't got no power, that whole thing. I just love that. And I remember seeing things like, that's the future. I'll never be alive. That's so cool. And then it's like, nope, we got it. We got aliens. We got hoverboards. We got the Iron Man suit. It's all ready for you. And it's like, what? The world is just so crazy to me now. And I'm sure they'll probably be selling this and people will be buying them with Bitcoin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's how that is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the audience is one and the same. The Bitcoin enthusiasts are going to be that hoverboard thing.
Yeah. And that's a good point, actually. It's like, if you're buying cool tech stuff, the chances of you using crypto to buy these things, it's much higher.
Yeah.
It's really a demographic almost.
Yeah.
Where it's like, even dealing with clients, I know this thing is like the older the clients, and I'm starting to get generational, but like they want to show up and write you a check and hand it to you.
Yeah, because that's money.
And it's I know, but it's like but there's like as a thing that there's very much of like I want to make eye contact. Physical piece of paper and I have this engagement where I'm like, that takes so much time. Can you just PayPal me? And
right.
I start to understand. It's like, no, it's there's one where it's getting money, but I'm actually like almost being rude to maybe that person because they want that personal experience, of like handing things
the
off.
The finish of thank you very much.
Yes, the finish thanks very much.
Yeah.
But it's weird because in other cultures, like in Japan, I know if you hand someone in Japan cash, you're supposed to put it down and they pick it up because they don't find it's almost rude. It's like dirty money. It's like they hand it hand to hand. That's why I was talking about Japan before. If you go to a lot of places over there, I've not been to Japan. This is just the internet talking, but it's like, it seems like there's a lot of QR codes and a lot of like, it's just like when any type you got to come to a cashier or a place where you're making any type of exchange, you're just like, oh man, I could pay in anything. Like what app, Walmart app or whatever app they have over there. They have the WhatsApp, I believe, is like a communication thing they use a lot. Mm-hmm. So I forget why I dove into that, but yeah. Where are my notes? This is where I start losing my. I know, right? We're talking about hoverboards and Iron Man. That's right. Okay, now I'm actually going to talk about TikTok. But before we do that, I'm going to show you this woman on TikTok. And she is from Pittsburgh she moved to LA. And this is her version of, I think, if you're a babysitter from Pittsburgh and a babysitter from a parent, I think is what it is, the parent.
Is her name Lucy Blehar?
Yes, I think so.
I worked with her dad.
That's so crazy. Turn this up.
Okay, let's do this.
Okay, we don't do that. And they're easy. You can do whatever you want. We just got that B movie from Home Video. We got all the Shreks. We got Osmosis Jones too. So dinner's at 6. There's a leftover lens.
Oh my goodness! I hit this button.
You killed it!
Oh my goodness!
Gosh.
Oh, I think I hit the off button on my computer by accident.
You did. Oh, you killed us.
That's right. I'll get it back on in a second.
Okay. Really, I used to work with her dad.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
It might not be that off. Oh, nope. That's crazy. I only put it to sleep.
Chicken? No, we don't have a microwave. The Happy Meals are just here on the counter, and they have a lot of leftover Halloween candy. You can help yourself to whatever's in there, too. We make a fluoride-free toothpaste with alkaline water and baking soda and a few drops of peppermint oil, and you'll just emulsify it on your palm. He had T-ball today, so he's exhausted. He'll probably just pass out right on the couch. You can just leave him there. We did notice that the Aesop soap was critically low after the last time you sat. So we just got this Myers one. If you could just use the Myers one when you're here. All right, Connie. Thanks, son. We'll see you soon. We won't be back too late unless there's traffic. Don Liberty. We're just getting Don Brillo box. And I know we said we'd be home around 10, but midnight's okay, right? You don't have plans, do you?
I just love that.
That is great.
I just love that so much.
Mommy, I know prospect.
And I'm now hooked on her, by the way, because she did a couple of She's obviously from Pittsburgh. Well, obviously, you said you know her father, which is small world. It's so crazy.
A teeny tiny world.
It's so crazy.
That's Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh.
You can't be driving and flip somebody off because you're gonna make them mad. That's your neighbor, or it's your neighbor's cousin.
Your neighbor. It's your neighbor's cousin. I like talking the Yinzer voice, and I'm not as good as your voice, and I always wish I want to find. Yeah. I used to work with a lot of comedians, and they do the voices. So I worked with Kurt Wooten, Pittsburgh dad, and obviously he does he does his impersonation, and I can't do it as well, but I'm trying to teach myself to do it better because I feel like I do like a redneck version of it because I'm originally like an hour north of here. So I trick myself. I just do a lot of plurals. Like, and when you do nouns or you name places, he's like, hey, did you go to Walmart's? Yeah. He's like, every store is plural. Like, you want to go down there's, and then we go around here's. It just, I'm like, oh, I'm getting it. I'm getting better.
Well, giant eagles.
Yeah, that's the one, giant eagles. That's funny. But so you said you have no experience with TikTok. Have you dove in at all? Have you played with the app?
No, I have not. No, I'm afraid to get the app.
You're afraid. Why are you afraid?
Because it might be addicting, and I just there's only so many hours in the day. I'm already trying to follow people on the Facebooks. That's right, the Facebooks.
Facebooks.
I like Instagram because the photographs are. I'm a photographer, so I'm like, oh, well done.
Right.
Well done. Yeah. So TikTok scares me because I think you could get sucked in.
It's really funny how you're like, well done, because people do see Instagram like it's the snobbish platform.
It is.
It's like where everyone's like, did you see that picture I've made? It's very good with my latte.
Yeah, and there's crossover between Facebook and it's Instagram, but not all the time.
Do you use YouTube for research? You do at all, or for entertainment?
Yeah, I guess entertainment. You know, like if it's, I'll search on things, and if it's there, I'll watch it.
Okay.
But I'm not a huge YouTuber either.
See, when like I said, when I started out doing video, I started doing vlogs, and it was on YouTube was new, and you were able to really build an audience at first. At some point, I was actually making a little bit of income where I was like, am I going to be doing this? This is my life. And so I was really crazy about it, and to a point, like I still use YouTube so much where for tutorials and learning that you can hit the settings button and you can speed up the video to double the time. And so
right. Oh, that would be great.
all the time I'm watching stuff at double the speed because your brain can take it in.
Well, that's just it. Like I read for a living.
Mm-hmm.
I can read so much faster than I can. And friends will send me videos. And I'm
Okay.
like, don't do that.
You're set up already that way.
I am right because now I didn't know that you could double time it because maybe I will make my way because like I just don't have enough time, man.
Yeah, and that's what and that's funny too because maybe you probably read like when you read, do you like you can kind of skip words, right? You kind of skim. Yeah, because most of the words.
Well, my husband, he just can't believe it, and he's like, "You read that already?" I'm like, "Yeah."
Because I think some
I can tell you what it was. It's not just like just read the words. It's in here.
Yeah.
It's in here now.
Well, you're conditioned. You've worked. I mean, it's your career, and now you're very good at taking information very quick on
and
text-wise.
I'll go, "Oh, this is just filler. Oh, this is the meat. Slow down, but oh, fast."
Oh man, you're like my brain is like that. Obviously, it's working like this. But yeah, you go through an article. That first paragraph, usually not much. You can find where you get the information, and it's just real quick.
Right, but you have to slow it down then, and then really parse this. And yeah.
So there's a scene in one of the new Star Trek movies. And then when I say new, it's just not the super old. It's actually I think maybe 8 years old. But Spock is like a kid, and he's in like this dumped area, and he's obviously just watching videos, and he's learning. And there's just a bunch of videos really, really, really quick, and I'm like, oh my god, that's kind of what I'm doing on YouTube. And when I first started YouTube, also people had the same how they would say about TikTok. They're like, it's for kids. It's just stupid. And when TikTok first came, because it used to be called Musical, it's like, that's just girls dancing and it's really dumb. And then once I started using it, I started to realize the algorithm was so much better than YouTube's and in such a different way that I remember when I was a kid, if you would watch TV on the old television, you could go through the channels really fast. Like, you can't do that now. But you'd be able to go, and my brain, it only took half a second to be like, if I wanted to watch it. So I'd be like, don't want it, and I'd like run the horn. And I'd be like, damn it, there's still nothing on. The difference with TikTok, and it does have that feeling.
Yeah.
It's the opposite. It's banger. Awesome. Bang. I love the every time. Now, this is obviously after maybe a couple years of using it.
Right.
The algorithm has got me down.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it's scary.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's no longer, goofy comedy. It's a lot of stock information. It's like I feel like if I don't get my 2 hours of TikTok, I feel like an idiot at the end of the day. Because it's just like when I was younger and I had to watch Jon Stewart at night because the next day I feel like I had no information in me.
Yeah.
And so in that mind, you're right. It is addictive, but I just like I need that. Just suck up that knowledge. And on TikTok, they talk like I'm talking now. They're like, okay, here's the AMC is going up, and then because there's inflation, and then Jerome Powell, and it's like, I'm like, yes, give me more. And it's like, I don't know how much I retain. Obviously, I retain some of it, but that's how my mind works now with it.
Well, I'm doing, when I'm working, I have the TV on.
Mm-hmm.
I probably have something talking to me, and I'm reading at the same time.
So you're actually having a conversation, you mean?
No. I'm probably listening to something.
Right. All right.
So like a conference call or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Right. Now, if I have to write something, I can only write while and not listen to anything.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I need all that.
Different side of the brain or whatever it is.
Like the other stuff, I'm scanning. So yeah, I hear ya. And I could see how TikTok could be used like that, but yeah, not going to do that.
I'm not sucking you into it yet.
No.
So here's the other thing where I also read about TikTok was that it's not a content platform. It is an algorithm platform.
Yes.
It is learning. It's learning you.
Yes.
It's so more than that because I almost can't even like talk about how it is. But it's not the same thing when I felt like YouTube is a content platform and they're trying to put the best content on there so you watch it the longest.
Oh.
TikTok is just weird. It's actually doesn't care about that crap. Doesn't care. It just wants to know you to a point where like it could physically build like a data version of you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Scary.
And, yeah. I'm out.
You're out.
Yeah. You've just like
I know.
taken
I
TikTok
know.
off.
But at the
Boom.
same time, the reason it's doing that because what's going to happen is it's going to do two things. Once, obviously, clone you, but also give you like the best experience. Like I'm saying, obviously, I'm excited as I'm talking. You know.
But what if you change? Like, what if your tastes change?
Oh, that's
Or because my tastes.
do I have control
changed.
anymore? I don't know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I like to go. I'm gonna try knitting now.
Yeah.
You know, instead of
So
right?
what I try to do is I try to trick the algorithm. When I
Yeah.
do that, I go into search and I try to search like new things I like.
Yeah.
You know, but TikTok, I feel like it does that itself too. It will like all of a sudden throw something at you that you wouldn't be. I think for a week or two, I was into farming. Because they just a couple of these guys were just very entertaining, very
Yeah.
good at being like, hey, this is how we do, and they had some really cool technology too, like how they were planting.
There you go. They knew
seeds
that.
and
That's why
stuff.
they threw that in there.
Yeah, like it was this cool like mulch that they that kept like the seeds like at a certain temperature, and I was just like into it. And next thing I know, I'm like, it's throwing me more farm stuff, I'm like, why am I so into farming? I'm never gonna be a farmer,
No,
but I was obsessed with it.
but you're a farm enthusiast.
I guess I am.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was, but I guess I am.
Well, it would take about 2 seconds to know that I'm an animal. Like, I'm all about animals. Because here's the thing. Whenever the election was happening,
Mhm.
and don't worry, we're not going to have politics. I didn't even know Facebook, like, people used it for political stuff.
Oh, that's
Because my
interesting.
feed is all people's horses, people's dogs, people's kids.
That's what it used to be.
It. Yes. Well, that's what mine is. I have never clicked on, any of the, like, they might show me political stuff, but I
Mhm.
just let it go by.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I like that dog. Yeah, I like that, whatever. Yeah, isn't that funny?
See, I tried. Well, I guess that's another thing. I'm really into the news and TV in the sense of like the production value of it and how it's created and how they make things. So obviously, I followed a bunch of stuff.
Right.
And it went from, just my friends, pictures of parties, babies, dogs, puppies, to just propaganda, just so heavy propaganda, from all levels
Yeah.
and different types and like news. And it was just people yelling. And what I got real annoyed with the algorithm from Facebook, it figured out that, at least me personally, that I would slow down. Because it doesn't care about the likes, by the way. It actually knows when you stop scrolling. If you like it or not, it's not a big deal. So I would purposely not like these posts because I didn't want to
Right.
see them. But it was someone ranting.
Oh.
But I would read them just because I'm interested. It's like watching drama.
Yeah.
So I'd read them and not like them. And eventually that's what Facebook knew. And it was just top of my feed. And I would get angry. And I'm like,
Interesting.
Facebook is physically making me angry.
Yeah.
And it does this in the comment section too. When I go
Yeah.
to like a CNN, the comment that I see usually is the comment that pisses me off more than anything because it wants me to engage.
Right.
So, but like I'm trying to I'm using Facebook less and less because it does that to me.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Interesting. Yeah. Algorithms.
Yeah.
That's the theme for today. Algorithms.
I try to make that a theme for almost a lot of the episodes,
Okay,
you
all
know,
right.
because it's like I feel like I can trace back anything and stocks. I mean, it's really about having a perfect algorithm. I mean, someone can, I think was that famous guy who had like the flash drop. I forget what his name was and what stocks he was in, but he basically, he worked his way up where he had like a really great algorithm that he was able to make the stocks like flash drop really quick and then buy it back, and it's just, he wasn't really doing anything at the end, the program was doing it.
Right.
know.
Right. But you're still not, if you're a market participant, you're not really supposed to be able to manipulate the market.
Yeah.
Like
Well, he
that.
got arrested. I mean, this was the big, he's in jail.
Yes. Yeah.
But, yeah, these cryptos and stuff, I'm sure, people are doing this. This is happening. And like it, even we don't even know about it, that people are doing this kind of stuff. So you're right. Algorithms feel like they're controlling everything to a point where, this just for me coming here today, I have it in my calendar. And so, my watch and my phone will tell me when to leave because it's.
I do like that.
Yeah, and it tells me the traffic. It's like, hey, if you leave now, it's going to take you 47 minutes.
Yes.
But then it is to a point where like maybe algorithm's so great in the future where I don't really need to give it the data anymore. Who's telling me what to do?
Yeah.
Like it's just
it
like, hey, you got to go downtown. Like, do I? Like,
what am I here
okay, yeah. And like the way my mind works, so I'm freed up to do creative stuff, is I don't like to think about stuff if I don't need to. So
I
I'm
agree.
working, and I
agree.
wake up in the morning. It's like, hey, you got to be here at 8:00. I'm like, oh, okay. You know, I obviously made myself a reminder that weeks ago, but at some point, who's gonna be making these reminders? Is it gonna be me or the algorithm?
Yeah. Well, that's very Matrix, isn't it?
It is. It is. It seems like you like parts of this, though.
Parts of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I could see the utility for it, but I'm not going to hand over control.
No.
I'm a control freak and a germaphobe.
Right.
So, yeah.
But maybe the germaphobe might be just like how COVID. It might be the way to get you in. It's gonna be such a creep. What's that called? Something creep. Mission creep.
Mission creep.
Or like
Yeah.
it's not gonna just happen.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't know. No, I love my Sonos. I hate my Bluetooth.
Yeah. Maybe that's the real theme. Is like we hate Bluetooth. Can we please fix that?
I don't understand how it got so popular because it's so quirky.
I feel like there's a corrupt story behind there. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
first of all, the technology obviously was great at some point and still is in some sense.
I think it was always good enough. I think that
that is such the right wording. Actually, you're right. I'm
think,
wrong.
yeah, I mean, they wanted it to be great, but
Yeah.
they've settled for good enough.
Yeah, and now they're just so ingrained in everything. It's it. We're locked in there.
Oh, Bluetooth.
Yeah, down with Bluetooth,
Yeah.
up with crypto, I get.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it is. All right, I think we're wrapping everything up. Anything
Okay.
else you want to plug or throw, or you want to do some your Yinzer voices?
No, I think I'm good.
You're
know?
good with that there, Kim Forrest?
I am. I'm going to go to Don Isley's and get myself some chip chop ham.
Oh, that's great. Well, thank you for coming today.
Thank
and this is the Smart House, and we are on the OnPoint Podcasting Network. And the production company is TheGateway.media, and you can actually check that out at TheGateway.media. That's our www. Way too many W's. So anyways, thanks for watching. I'm Dustin Dowling, and we'll see you next week.